My replica of the Harold Holt Swim Center is currently lacking these tubes. So we're going to do this whole roof section today because that is the spirit of Tubemas. Merry Tubemas, everybody. If Harold Holt had never gone missing in the ocean, it's likely the thing that we'd remember him for is the feud between his two most senior right-hand men, the Deputy PM and the Treasurer. And if you've been following this series, you'd know that the Deputy PM, right before Harold Holt went missing, blackmailed the Japanese government just to maybe get some dirt on the Treasurer. Go back and listen to the previous episodes. Happy 20th episode, by the way. I love you. All right, let's talk about the origin of this feud. Who started it? Who's the bad guy and who's the good guy? And I'm saying this with full knowledge that a journalist would hear that and be like, oh, that's very immature. Things aren't that black and white and simple in real life. Well, this time it was. Let me tell you about Deputy Prime Minister John McEwen. This is a man who was orphaned at age 7. He dropped out of school when he was 13 years old. Then, when World War I broke out, he got accepted into officer school at Duntroon. And then instead of going, he enlisted in the army as a private so that he could get to World War I earlier. And then when he got back, the soldier settler scheme gave him a plot of land so that he could start a farm. And just like many other returned soldiers who were given these plots of land to work, John McEwen wasn't a farmer. None of these guys knew what they were doing and they didn't have much support beyond here's the land, go and make some money with it. So most of these farms failed and some of them seriously damaged the local ecology and the topsoil. And a great example of that barely anybody knows about is at Wilson's Promontory, which is a national park 3-hour drive out of Melbourne. There is a place there called the Big Drift, and it is a 5 square kilometer man-made desert caused by settler soldiers planting sweet potatoes that didn't have the root base to stop the wind from just blowing all the soil into the ocean, and now nothing can ever grow there. And if you're not from here, you might be thinking, oh, a desert in Australia, big deal. Like, no, this is what Wilson's Prom looks like. It's basically a rainforest. And there's a desert there. Anyway, all of that to say, settler soldiers were not good at farming. Not John McEwen. He worked his ass off. His farm flourished and he became one of the most respected farmers in the entire state. And only after achieving all of that did he wend his way into politics, where he got a reputation for always frowning. For fun, he would drink 20 cups of black tea per day. He was married to the same woman for 50 years. He was the longest serving politician in the entire Holt government, including Harold Holt himself. He is the leader of the Country Party, and for all of those reasons, he's the man that they call John Blackjack McEwen. Except for Robert Menzies, who would call him Jean Lenoir, which is extremely cute. John McEwen is the conservative politician that conservative politicians love to pretend to be, which is why this feud isn't about any sort of personal past grievance between the two men. This is about the fact that John McEwen knows what Billy McMahon is, and that is, quote, a totally amoral, conspiratorial, devious, untrustworthy, disloyal, petty, cowardly, treacherous bastard who lies all the time, steals things, is a contemptible little squirt, and one time he milked a horse with his mouth. And if all of that makes John McEwen sound petty, I wasn't quoting him. I was quoting all of Billy McMahon's closest colleagues and friends, and 2 of his biographers. Except for the milking a horse with his mouth thing, that's just a story that he told about himself. So yeah, stick around if you want to hear about that guy, because it gets weirder.